Obviously, everybody who came in here went, wow, what's this room? And so I did what any human being does this day. I Googled Scottish Rite. So tell me if this rings true. The cause of human progress is our cause. The enfranchisement of human thought, our supreme wish. The freedom of human conscience, our mission. And the guarantee of equal rights to all peoples everywhere, the end of our contention. That is the Scottish Rite Creed. It's like, bring it home, right? So, and last thing on that is, there's little flickering lights. I assume those aren't real candles, but this setting is in awe, and I'm not going to sing for you. That was a wave in an opera, and that was it. Don't sing. So, who am I? My name's Tim Crosby. I wear three hats that come to play here. I'm the director of Slow Money Northwest. I'm a partner with Social Venture Partners, and I'm on the steering committee for the Sustainable Agriculture Food System Funders Network. Those all come into play because of a group called the Cascadia Foodshed Funders that has come together to use market-based strategies to grow the regional food economy. Think grants, technical assistance to businesses, a little less about community gardens and education events, but how do you use grants to empower businesses or support loans and other aspects like that? We're figuring it out as we go. The real goal is to try, well, two-part, develop long-term relationships among different partners and find new forms of collaborative financing. For those that deal with different types of money coming in, we have private foundations, corporate foundations, community foundations, private individuals, impact investors. We have CDFIs, we have a nonprofit impact fund. Why are they here? Because a series of foundations got talking and realized, you know what, we're doing the same thing. Who else is out there? So we put a call out and we found 15 foundations, some national. At the same time in Seattle, there's this whole impact investor group coming together, parallel but separate conversation. And then we start realizing that we're heading the same way. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. Because we have set slides to go through to answer these questions. We developed a shared agenda. Once we got going, one of the tricks when you pull in that type of capital is community foundations. They have geographical boundaries. And then different foundations have different issue base. If you start with, let's work together, let's figure out how to fund, we'll be in a 2-year conversation. So instead we said, let's pull our impact goals and figure out where we're all going together, and then we'll figure out the rest as we go. One of the key terms that came out was do not run the headlights. This is very proactive work we're doing, and if there was a change to the order of slides, there was a passive tense. What did we do? No, this is what we are doing. This is very active. It's a long-term work. So what came together was health, social equity, family wage, job creation, family wage being a key word. We played around with livable wage, so forth and so on. No, you want the family to survive, the family unit to stay together. And preservation, rural community resilience, ability to influence policy. We then built definitions. What does this really mean? Generally speaking, health is, are they producing healthy products? But then in the context of the food system, we further defined it. Are they providing livable, healthy work environment in the fields for the workers? There's a little, on the bottom of each slide is for more information, go to slowmoneynw.org/CFF so you can read more about the descriptions. Don't have time right now, or ask me about them later. One of the key aspects that we got towards what I dropped into the mutually reinforcing activities was actually the linchpin that got us going. In these parallel conversations that we were having with foundations and individual investors, I was talking to a room of individual investors about the importance of technical assistance to support businesses, and this one investor said, time out, I have no idea what you mean by that term, technical assistance. I'm like, well, business development. Well, why don't you use that term? It's like, well, because foundations don't use that term, and that's when that lightning rod happens. Like, we're after the same goals. We're coming from a different space, and because of that, we have different languages, different terms, different vernaculars. So one thing we did early on was set up a vocabulary for our work. We defined these terms with folks. We all read them back to each other as we went to make sure we understood what they mean and that they make sense. Some words don't make sense to some folks, but at least we're working from a common ground. What is a deal? What is an impact investment? Then business development and technical assistance are basically the same thing. Whatever the words are, it doesn't matter. Just get going with the work. Continuous communication. Oh yeah, there's a lot of time here. We were asked to be the backbone organization with my Slow Money Northwest hat on, and You do need to keep this going. The follow-up articles out of Stanford Social Innovation Review, there was one recently about, looking back a few years, what's come of this collective impact work this is long-term work. This is not easy work. So a key part is communication and relationship building. So we're emailing a lot between partners. I'm interviewing each partner between each meeting to see, testing out ideas and building on ideas in between our periodic meetings. I heard this, what do you think of this idea? Oh, you revised it, now I build it on it, and it keeps the conversation going. And the phone. For those who are high tech, the phone is one of the most important devices. Remember to call people, if you can't be in person, to talk to people, because it really helps out. And whatever other forms of communication, ongoing reports, status reports, keep people abreast, keep them going. For backbone logistics, what happened at the first meeting when we brought the individual investors and the foundation folks together was, what do we do next? Like, well, let's just get a fund going, or let's just try to figure out what this means. And Slow Money Northwest, this is what you do, right? It's like, yeah, sure, because this is fairly new. 3 years since that article came out for collective impact, but there's variations on how it plays out. We know we've adapted it, and when I was listening to the first presentation, I realized it's sort of like listening to the teacher, and am I going to be great, and did I follow the formula of collective impact? This is what's working with us. They asked us to do this work, and how do people pay? Since we're dealing with a fund structure, we basically said everybody's got to put skin in the game. If you want to play, you've got to put money in to start. We have two types of money. One is backbone organizational support. Everybody pays, including the nonprofit who provided resources. They provided mapping tools to show where everything was going. It's really hard for them to pay into something else. And we also have some on the national foundation level that are observers. So they receive periodic reports. They didn't pay to attend and move the dial forward, but they're interested in what comes of that. The big thing is that they're on the hook in a manner of speaking. Measuring impact. This gets real detailed. This is a lot more information. But due diligence is a form. We're dealing with deals. And so we took our social equity goal, for instance, we gave it a definition. We gave questions that we shared with applicant businesses. This is what we're going to ask of your proposal. And we've written those questions into a due diligence framework. So that this is an example, so that we're just saying, yeah, this is picking up. So we're measuring as we go. We're using our shared goals for our measurement. And I've got to understand, is that weird? Because it seems to be so right. The results, where we're running. I mean, we're just keep moving. We're early on, we've got some early wins. But we don't have the structure figured out. I can talk more about where we're going. And I do know that everybody's prepared to go another year with this because they're seeing the benefit of working together. That's it. Thank you.